Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome you to the Fundy Designer and CG Pro Prints official webinar about Gallery Designer, how to sell more wall prints in your studio and make you more money. We have two awesome guests here today, Jeff and Lori. Quick hello and self-introduction from you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Jeff, and
I'm Lori.
we own Indigo Silver and the Shoot Space. A little bit about us: we're wedding and portrait photographers located out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and yeah, that's about it. We're pretty simple people. We like to just go and have some fun, and that's it.
Great. So we brought Jeff and Lori in because they do a fantastic job of doing in-person sales with wall art, and so we wanted to share with you guys how they use Gallery Designer to make lots of money. So just to give us an idea, what have your recent successful sales been with Gallery Designer in the dollar range?
Our most recent sale that we did, I think it was either earlier this week or last week, was in the $2,000 range, so we were pretty excited about that.
Nice. Yeah, anytime you get over the $2,000 range, you know it's a happy day.
Right, yeah, we did the happy dance.
Nice, nice. All right, so we'll be getting to how Jeff and Lori conduct their in-person sales, what they do before even the shoot to prime their clients for great sales, and then we'll jump into Gallery Designer, show you how to use it from a technical standpoint, and then we'll jump back out and have Jeff and Lori close up with any kind of success tips going out to incorporate into your own person sales, or if you're new to running sales sessions, basically how to do that in a successful way. So before we get started, I wanted to jump in and talk a little bit about why wall prints are so important. And they're important not just as a business person, but they're important for family. I'm a father, my kids are getting older, I have grandparents are getting older, parents are getting older, and just how important family prints are to people. And I think in this digital age, we often forget the importance of having prints hanging on the wall. My oldest is 16, my youngest is 14. A couple years ago, my oldest was going through what I like to call the evil stage. There's another word I use also, but I can't quite say that on a live webinar. But I think Jeff and Lori can imagine. And then my youngest is going through right now, and teenagers, oh my God, they just turn evil. They turn against you. It's amazing.
And, I've got a 15-year-old. I know exactly what you're talking
about. And it can just crush your heart sometimes. They're like, I don't even like you. You're like, what do you mean you don't like me? And so, it's tough. Luckily, my oldest has come out of that, so I'm seeing, a better future for my youngest right now. But one of the things that wall prints gives me is that every single day I'm able to walk by these prints and see them smiling and, laughing. And they walk by that too. And I think that's just a reminder of how important family is, and that, eventually everything's going to be okay. So it's a really heartwarming sentiment for families as they go through tough times, because every family goes through tough times. And, I think that when we sell the wall art, it's great and everybody's happy, but we're giving them more than just those prints at that moment. It's really a family legacy and a chance to do something good for family. There's also been studies done that families who have family prints on the wall, their children are less susceptible to depression. So, it's good all the way around. So what we're going to show you is that, Fundy Designer is the next natural step after you're out of Lightroom or whatever image processing program that you use. So and then from Lightroom we'll export to JPEG. Then we're in Gallery Designer. We can do beautiful wall art. And then from Gallery Designer you can export, send things off to CG Pro Prints, get it ordered, and off it comes in. Sorry, we just got a delivery from Starbucks, and I was very upset because my cookie did not get delivered yet. So really important stuff. And then, so Fundy Designer, today we'll be looking at Gallery Designer, but it's a suite of design products for you. And today we'll be looking at Gallery Designer, but also check out Album Builder, our core product, and then some of our other products also. So, basic workflow from Lightroom. Go ahead and choose your selects that you'll be presenting to your client. Export those selects. We'll import them into Fundy Designer. And we'll be going through some of this workflow in a little bit, but after you've completed the design or the sale, you can go directly from Fundy Designer to Photoshop or Alien Skin or On1 software for any retouching before you send things off to print, and it will circle right back into Fundy Designer, and then you can export from Fundy Designer and everything's ready to print for you. Right, so usually what I do is, I'll go through and I'll tag which images in Lightroom I want to export for the sales presentation. In the library module, I'll click on the metadata and, toggle to just those items that I've tagged, and then I'll click export and export those items. At that point, you do want to export the full resolution JPEGs, and we will import those into Fundy Designer, and we'll use those full resolution JPEGs when we go ahead and export for print. So that's kind of the overview of the webinar today. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop on over to Lori and Jeff's computer, and they're going to take us through their basic tips for success when dealing with clients to have big wall art sales. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this over to their computer. Are you guys ready? You're not
Yes,
you're not watching
ready.
cat videos right now, are you?
No.
Okay. All right,
I
here
have
we
a pretty
go.
funky video from Imaging USA, though.
Nice.
All right. So, guys, let us know which screen that you see right now. Can you see our slide deck screen?
I can see the slide deck screen.
You can?
Yay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Well, Jeff and I are really excited to share with you some tips on improving your sales process today. So what we're going to go over in the next few minutes is how to increase your profits and have happier clients by shooting with the sale in mind. So we're going to talk about how we use multiple touch points from start to finish in order to get our clients on board with a larger portrait sale. So we'll share what we talk about during our pre-session consultation in order to get our clients thinking about products. We'll talk about how we structure our shoot in order to shoot for those products. And then we'll talk about how we actually sell the products.
So we've kind of always done in-person sales, but there was a time where we didn't really do a lot of the pre-session consultations or design consultations, and we ran into a lot of problems with that. Like everyone else, we get the phone call from the client, and we discuss the portrait session with them over the phone, and quite often we would book the session right over the phone, and we would simply show up the day of the session and photograph that session. But then the problem is when the client comes in, they're not ready to buy, and so we run into all these problems of why they're not ready to buy. And I'm sure this sounds familiar to a lot of you. You hear things like, well, can we just have the pictures or the digital files, or I can't, can you just put them online, or I need to talk to my husband. And that all comes down to they're unsure of their product goals. They don't really know what they want to buy at that point. And so with all those common roadblocks that you've run into there, you end up losing the sale. And what we found out is the reason we ended up losing those sales is it wasn't because our clients didn't want to buy the images. It's that we didn't properly prepare them to be ready to buy those images.
So once we realized that our clients just weren't prepared at the sales presentation, we realized that we really needed to start that process earlier. And what it comes down to is that in order to have a successful sale, you have to know what you're going to sell. The only way you'll know that is by discussing it with your clients beforehand. So now what we do is we bring our clients to the studio in order to discuss the location, the wardrobe, and the feel of the shoot. But while we're doing that, we're also showing them wall portraits and albums and prints. So you can see here some images from the inside of our studio, and you can see how we are surrounding our clients with all of those products while they're meeting with us. This helps get them thinking about which products they want to have, and we're reminding them that Facebook and digital isn't forever. We're showing them the importance of printed products. The other thing that we're doing is we're suggesting new products that our clients maybe haven't considered. And by the end of the meeting, we actually give our clients homework. So we tell our clients to go home and photograph the walls in their house that they would want to use for portraits. By getting them to take action, they're actually committing themselves to the idea of wall portraits. So we're using this meeting as a touch point in order to get our clients on board with the right products early in the process. This way, we're never having to do a hard sale at the end sales meeting. So the reason for this consultation is that our clients can now think bigger, they can plan their budget accordingly, they're prepared to buy at their sales appointment, and we're not having to do a hard sell, so our clients are excited about their purchases.
So now when it comes down to actually the shoot,
Hey,
you're
Jeff
ready.
and Lori, just a quick question while you're presenting. Is it okay to share this PDF with the group?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody, if you go to your handouts drop down in the GoToWebinar panel, I've uploaded this PDF, and you can just download this PDF to either follow along or you can save it for later.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome. So now that you've planned your shoot, you're ready. You know exactly what you're going to be shooting. You know the location. You know the wardrobe. You know the feel of the shoot. And now you know also what products your clients are interested in. And so we've always shot blind in the past, but before this, we would actually, shoot blind and really just show up to the session and shoot. Now by knowing what we're shooting when we get there, it always helps us out a little bit better because now we can shoot with those product goals in mind. So different products require a little bit different shooting technique. So being in the South, the big thing that people are wanting down here is a mantelpiece. Everyone's home nearly has a fireplace in it. So when we go to photograph for a mantelpiece, we want to be a little bit more careful with our posing and our lighting and make sure that our focus is tack sharp and that we have an amazing composition. So generally we'll work a little bit more slowly and deliberately because perfection is key when we're shooting for a large wall portrait. Often clients will buy, up to a 40 by 60 frame portrait. So those have to be spot on. However, if you know that that client is more interested in a lifestyle or a portrait style album, then the actual every image doesn't have to be exactly perfect. So we can shoot a little bit more loosely, a little bit more variety. We shoot in different locations, different outfits, different wardrobes, and sometimes we'll shoot close-up headshots because that may be a smaller print. And so we want to be able to really shoot for the product that we're selling. And oftentimes in the back of the camera, we'll show them an image that we get, and we'll say, oh my God, look at this image. Would that not be amazing over your mantle? Imagine this in a 40 by 60, a frame print, a canvas print. And if we have a multiple images in a series, we can say, look at this. Can you imagine this in a grouping or a page in an album? And so we're doing those little suggestive selling touch points along as we go through on the day of the sale. And so now, once we finish up with the session, we bring them back in for the sales process. And so again, with these touch points, we've kind of met with them a little bit at the initial consultation. We've talked about touch points at the actual shoot itself. And so now when we bring them back in, we want to create more of an experience with them. So instead of putting their images online or sending them a gallery, we invite them back into the studio. We meet with them, we do make small talk, we offer them refreshments. We're going to explain every step of how this meeting is going to go.
And Jeff, can I just really kind of accentuate what you said right there? Is if images are shown online before the sales session, it is a sales killer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, if you put the images online, they have no reason to buy them because even the least tech-savvy people know how to do a screen capture, and once they get them on their phone, that's really all they want.
Yeah, and then
also notice that if they've had the chance to see them over and over again, the excitement is kind of lost because by the
they
time
lose their value, right?
Yeah.
So the more they see the images, the less value the images are. So
exactly.
They have to be seen the very first time in the sales session. And I would assume this is correct. If they don't buy anything, they don't ever see the images.
Exactly. They do not go online. Now, if we do have someone that comes in, like our session last week, they came in and spent $2,500, yes, we will put those online afterwards because at that point it's just follow-up sales and it's just it's extra, so we don't mind it at that point.
Yep.
But basically, we want to bring them in and create an experience for them and let them know that, we care about their images. And so we explain every step of how that sales meeting is going to go. And we start off with a slideshow of the images. We discuss any product goals that may have come up since our last meeting, and we help the clients choose the images that fits those goals. And it's a constant reminder that the goal of photography is to take home products, not digital files, products. And we found that by doing this multiple steps and these multiple touch points, there is no sticker shock because they've already seen our prices. They've already been introduced to our sales process, and they're prepared themselves to buy even before they've walked into the door. They know that they're ready to buy something. And so a lot of times wall art is the main thing that we're wanting to sell. We want to sell wall art, and that's where Fundy Designer comes in. And I believe that you're going to go and give us a demo of it really quick.
Exactly. So one question I had during that initial consultation before the shoot, you're talking about products, etc. How deep do you get into the personality of the clients and their relationship, and how much does that affect how you shoot? Would you adjust your shooting style, or maybe the location, or the how you interact and pose the couple depending on their personality?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times what we do is, we're primarily wedding photographers. While we do family portraits and things like that, a lot of times our wedding couples are the ones we're working with most. And the biggest thing that we hear when people come in for an engagement session is, when we first start talking to them, it's like, okay, where are you thinking for your photos? And we'll have our clients say, well, let's photograph them downtown. And for us, we want to make it a personal experience. We want them to have emotional attachment to those images. And so we'll say, well, what is special about downtown to you guys? Did you get engaged there? Was your first date there? Do you hang out downtown? Is that part of your life? And oftentimes people just go, no, I think it's pretty. And so we start talking with them and find out a little bit more. One of our clients, they simply said, we asked, what do you guys do? Who are you guys? What's your life? And they said, we're actually kind of boring. We just kind of hang out at the beach and ride our bikes and surf, and that's pretty much it. And so from that meeting, we ended up planning their session to be at the beach. We took their bikes out on the beach. They made little chalkboard signs would save the date, and they had their surfboards, and we made that session completely about them. So now when they come back into that sales session, not only are we finding out what products they want, but we're tapping in on an emotional level that, this is who they are right now at this point in their life. And we always tell clients is your engagement session, your engagement time period is generally the shortest point of your entire relationship, because most people have been together far longer than they've been engaged, and let's hope that they stay married far longer than they're engaged. And so, we use little things like that to kind of tap in on the emotional level of why they should do it. And we have similar tactics with family portraits and high school seniors and things. But yes, to answer your question in a nutshell, we do want to find out about the client so we can theme that session to their exact needs and their style and who they are.
That's great. So that's so funny that the clients thought that they were really boring, but when in fact that's an awesome shoot to be able to have bicycles and surfboards down at the beach. I mean, that's, creativity found.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun shooting that one.
So we have a couple questions from some attendees. So one of the first questions from Karen, I believe, from Karen, is that do you, in addition to the wall art during the sales session, do you also sell digital files? For example, maybe they want to buy the digital file for Christmas cards or something like that.
Right. So digital files are one of those things where demand for those is constantly increasing. And we held out for a long time on not offering digital files at all on portrait sessions. Now we're trying a little bit of a different approach in that we realize that for some people this is a deal breaker. They just want to have those files. So we don't allow our clients to have the full resolution files to where they can print wall portraits. But if they purchase a printed wall portrait from us, we give them a smaller resolution digital file that they can use for Facebook, they can use for their holiday cards. They can actually print up to 8 by 10 at the most. So we want to, give them something that they find value in, but while still making the sale that increases our profits. At the same time, we're actually rewarding good behavior by saying, okay, good, you purchased a wall portrait, now you can have this file. So, it's like with your kids when they don't want to eat their vegetables, so you bribe them with dessert.
Yeah, and just to get a little bit techie, a lot of people ask us, well, how can you guarantee that they're not printing larger than an 8 by 10 with the file? And the actual export from Lightroom is 1280 pixels at 150 dpi. and I've done print test on it, and you can print a very nice 8x10 or 8x12 print from places like Costco and your home computer and things like that if you have a nicer printer. But as soon as you try to print at 11x14, you get that resolution error, and it all falls to crap after that. So
Right.
1280 pixels at 150 dpi will get you a good
Okay.
a good size print for those that want to know.
Can you type that into everybody? So 1280 pixels on the longest side at 150 dpi.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and definitely do your own testing with this, so you know that way.
You're not
if,
guaranteeing everybody
yeah.
for everything in the whole world?
What's that?
You're not guaranteeing everybody for every print in the whole
I'm
world?
not guaranteeing that. It works well for us, and,
Okay.
and I've done print tests on it, and I can get a very good 8x10 or 8x12, but it falls apart at 11x14, which is kind of the goal.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead. I'm going to switch over to my screen here. And all right, so everybody let me, before, were there any more questions regarding the presentation from Jeff and Lori that we might need to answer here? Okay, there were a lot of questions. Priscilla just asked them by chat for us.
I'm trying to type back to questions as they're coming up as well.
Yes, and then there was one question, the pre-session consultation is not the same as the booking, correct? This would be after the booking. So basically they book, consultation, then the shoot, then the sale. Is that correct?
Well, for us, we actually do it in the same meeting. So generally they're going to call and inquire, and the first thing that we do is set up a consultation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking to them over the phone, we tell them that this is for a few reasons. For one thing, we're going to go over and answer all of their pricing questions that they have at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So Nicole's question, was when do we present the prices? So it is actually at that time. We show them our full pricing menu. We talk about how like we have a build your own pricing system. We walk them through that. So we go through all the pricing at that time, but we talk as though we're assuming they're going to book. So we talk about where we should go and what kind of wardrobe and what kind of products are they interested in. And generally at that time they do book. So we go ahead and get their contract signed. We, make their appointment for their shoot, make their appointment for their sales. So it's kind of an all-purpose meeting, just because we do that pre-session consultation. We also do the shoot. We also do the sale. That's already 3 meetings, and at some point you can kind of go overboard with how many meetings you have with your client. We don't want to wear them out to where they feel like they're just coming to meeting after meeting.
Yep.
So we combine the consultation and the booking at the same time. Okay.
But they've already committed to book over the phone, correct?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Usually at that point they still have questions about whether, budget and things like that. So we're going to show them our pricing and make sure that we're even in their budget. But generally 9 times out of 10, if they're coming in for a consultation, they do book. If we can get them in the door, and they see our products, they see our pricing, they get to know us, we do have a really high booking rate once we can get them in the door.
Nice.
And Funny, I just want to clarify one thing. I made a mistake. It's actually 1780.
1780.
Not 12. 1780.
Oh, way to go, Jeff. People are already printing stuff out.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Free drinks on Jeff. All right, everybody. Okay, so just to confirm, can everybody see the Fundy Designer program here? All good? All right, so when you launch Fundy Designer, you're going to create a new project, which you can do right here. So under the project panel, you can click Add New Project, which I've already done. When you add a new project, you choose which images you want to import. Works just like you're used to with Lightroom or any other program like that. And then from there, you can choose if you want to design an album, brand your images, make a blog collage, or do a Gallery Designer design. So let's go ahead and choose Gallery Designer. So the first thing you want to do is choose your type of lab. So we currently only have one Fundy Direct lab in there, but we are talking to CG Pro Prints to get in there. But currently they're not available in Direct, which is totally fine. Just click Design and Export, and let's go to CG Pro Prints. And then we'll name the gallery. So this would be, sales session or whatever you want to call it. And now we are in Gallery Designer. And up at the top, you can see we have the canvas wraps in here, and you can do an image wrap or a color wrap. So just to give you an idea how it works, it's super, super easy. So let's cruise down to some of these images here. Whenever you grab some images and throw it on the wall, it'll automatically do a design. And you can kind of just keep doing this if you want, get some different designs. And then when you click on the layout button, it will take you to the different layouts. And you can also create your own layouts and save them out. And there you go. Now, since we don't use templates, you can also do cool things like you can drop an image between another couple of images. And then you'll notice, let me go ahead and undo that. You'll notice that it automatically found the best sizes and matched up the sizes on the left. So let me redo that. And you can see, right? So super easy. And then from there, you can do normal things like swap images, etc. But you can do some really fun stuff by selecting everything, and you can resize on the fly in a group of images, which is a lot of fun. And another fun thing that you can do is you can basically build out your own designs on the fly. So I can drop one image in there, and we're just going to jump between all of the sizes that CG ProPrints offers. And it's just going to jump between all of those sizes. And then I can grab some more images. And when I place this next to it, it just automatically finds the sizes to make them fit. Right, super fun. So that's kind of how it works under the hood. Another fun feature that some people might like is you can, when you double click on an image, you can see the entire canvas, and from this view you can drop in more images if you want to do a multi-image canvas. Right, so there's the one canvas. I can change that to a color wrap, image wrap. So a lot of fun right there. So that's kind of the design construct. Over here we have some rooms, so you can change out the rooms. So all of these rooms that you see, we have these pre-built into Gallery Designer. So you have all of these stock rooms to work with. But something that's really powerful is adding the client's room. So the client can take a picture of their living room with their iPhone, and they can send you that photo. And when you import that photo, the very first thing it does is ask you to measure something in the photo. So your client will need to measure something. But you can get creative, like if they tell you how big their TV is, you can measure diagonally and say this is a 42-inch TV. Or you can measure from floor to ceiling if you know it's 8.5-foot ceilings or how tall the ceilings are. And then choose the design area. So this design area you can measure and do whatever you want there. And then when you bring in your client's room, everything will be sized to fit your client's room. So those are the basics of the design. So now let's go ahead and we will start the process of how you might run a sales session with Gallery Designer. So before the client shows up, you're going to want to create the project. And if they've sent you a picture of their living room, you want to go ahead and import that so it's all ready to go whenever your client shows up. And then the next item you'll want to do is you click on this calculator and you edit the pricing. See, I don't have anything on the wall. Let me put something on the wall here. And you click on this calculator and you edit the pricing. So let's go ahead and just put the pricing in for this one right here. So I'll put $600. And so you'll notice that, let me go ahead and put 3 more so you can see this, the 18 by 12. So when you put in the pricing for the products you use, then when you have a wall designed, you click the calculator, it's going to add everything up for you. So you don't have to worry about misadding anything. And that's a one and done. You put that pricing in once and you're done. All right. So let's go through the actual process with the client. So the very first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and run a slideshow for your client, right? Music, slideshow, get them emotionally involved. Um, what's the phrase that everybody was using at imaging? Jeff and Laura, do you remember?
No, I'm not sure.
If
The
they're
phrase?
if they're crying, they're buying.
Oh, if they're crying, they're buying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that all the time at imaging. That was funny. So we have $600 worth of free music from Triple Scoop Music. Choose the song. Obviously, you have a bunch of different options for the slideshow, and you can play the slideshow for your client.
Hey, yeah, a bad girl. A big world is out there waiting for.
All right, so you have the slideshow, run the slideshow, and then the next step is to help the clients go through and choose images that they want to hang on the wall. So let's go ahead and go through, and your left and right arrows will obviously move the photo left and right. And then the up arrow will favorite an image. And if you change your mind, you can go back to that image. The down arrow will unfavorite that image. So really simple. And the reason we designed it like this is you can run the whole session with just those 4 arrow keys. And what that helps you do is maintain eye contact with your client, maintain that conversation, and really be able to run a sales session without kind of fumbling around. So let's go through, let's get some of these images here. The bride and groom out by the boat. So I'm just going to pull up some couples images here. We'll just go ahead and favorite the coupled images so we can get some nice stuff up on the wall. And so I'm going ahead and favoriting these, but obviously you'd want to sit down and go through this with your client. So Jeff and Lori, when you're sitting down going through your client, how much time do you think is spent on having the clients commit to which images are their favorites for that session?
We usually go through the first round in probably about 20 minutes, and then they may want to go through them a second time, but of course the second time around it's a lot faster.
Yep. So, and that's about, and I feel like that's about right. If it drags out to 30, 40, 45 minutes, I feel like at that point you start losing the sale because of fatigue. The clients, they're just too fatigued to make any more choices.
Right.
So now the clients have chosen their favorites, and you'll see the little heart icon on some of these images, and I'm just going to click that heart, and now we're going to only see those favorite images. Now, one thing that's fun, we've been looking at gallery view here, so let's go ahead and put a few images on this first wall gallery. Well, that went way too big, huh? Let's go ahead and change out that room, see what happens here. But one thing that you can do is pre-design these really fast for your client so you can focus on the design. And every time you drop images into this space right here, it's just going to create a wall gallery. And while you're doing this, you can open up real quick and check which design you like best. I'm going to do that one on this wall, that one on that wall, and that one on this wall. Then we can go in with the design. I'm going to re-choose that. Let's go with this one right here. Right? And then what you can do from there is you can do any resizing, reshuffling, figure out if you want to adjust the sizes or anything, adjust the placement on the wall, and go through and show them what you've designed. We can adjust the cropping simply by dragging the images here. I can grab this out. Maybe they decide they want 3 squares, right? So you can just kind of adjust the layout to match what the client wants. And this is the part of the process where we're getting the client to commit to which ones they want on the wall. And at that point, you can simply check which ones they want to order, right? So this little green check mark, I'm going to check that here, I'm going to check that there. If they want to see which the layout using different room views, we can do that here. You can change the name of the room here just for future reference when you're going through the ordering process. And so at this point, the sale is basically done, right? During that process, if they want to know the pricing, you can click the calculator, we'll add up that pricing for you. And so at that point, the wall sale is basically done. You're going to go up to My Orders, open up the client invoice form, which you can see right here. And the client invoice form, it's Adobe Acrobat friendly, so you can put in the information here, canvas, the sizes, the file number. And when you're open in gallery view, and the file number, you can finish filling that out later if you want with the clients. Under the view menu, you can say toggle file names on, and then you can see the file number. Type that in there. Everything will be added up automatically. You can put any discounts or taxes in there, and then you can digitally sign right on the computer, so they can just sign away without having to print something out, and then later you can email that PDF to them. At that point, you can also include any gift prints, 8x10s, 5x7s that they might want to order. Now, one of the fun things about Gallery Designer is that if, once the wall art is finished ordering, if you have extra images left over that they want, we can jump into Album Builder and design an album really quick also. All right, let's just choose any album, any size. And so being able to design an album really quickly on the fly is a big benefit because you don't have to create a new project, you don't have to jump into another program, it's all right there for you. Right, so then we do an album, you can add the album to the order, and then basically you're done with the client. Client pays their invoice, sends them home. Now what you might want to do at that point is do any retouching. So as I spoke before, once everything's done, you might want to do some retouching of your images, and you have a few choices here. You can do this on an individual image basis. By clicking on an image, you can click on the Edit Images in External Editor. I have mine set up to be Photoshop, but it can be any program that will open a JPEG. And at that point, you can do any face retouching you might want to do. And then when you flatten and save, it's going to auto-update within Fundy Designer. Or if you want to bulk process or bulk edit your images, up under the Images tab, you can export images in use, and we'll take all the images that are in use in this gallery, put them in a folder, you can retouch those, and then you just choose to resync the images to that new folder that you've retouched. If you do all of your work in Lightroom, you can also click Copy List for Lightroom, paste this into Lightroom, and it will find all of those images, retouch those in Lightroom, and then just overwrite those original JPEGs that you exported before, and everything will automatically be updated in Fundy Designer. So any questions about the retouching? All right, so sorry, just a couple questions. Was there another one you wanted to take a look at? All good. All right, so we've exported, I'm sorry, we've retouched everything. So we ran the sales session, took the client's money, client went home, retouched everything. Now we're ready to order. Under the export menu, you can export for web if you want to send some mock-ups to your clients. When we export for web, let's go ahead and do one of those really quickly. So I have everything checked here. This is a poor example with this background because these images are too big for this wall, but we'll go ahead and export those anyway. So when you export for web, it exports with a preview of the images on the actual wall. Right, so this is great to send to your clients so they remember what they ordered. It's also a great way for marketing. So after the order, we can post these images, for example, to our blog or social media saying, hey, look what so-and-so ordered. All of their friends will see it, and hopefully all of their friends want to book you and have wall prints done for themselves also. Now when we hit export for print, again we choose which rooms we want to export with this little green checkbox. Let's choose where we want to export to. Now this is one of my favorite features because I hate cropping images. I hate messing with resolution in Photoshop, trying to get the correct resolution and size and crop because it's always so confusing for me. We tell you exactly what we're exporting. We tell you which rooms we'll be exporting. And as we export, we are cropping each file. We're resizing it to the exact size for print based on your lab specifications. So CG Pro Prints has given us all of their sizes, DPI, everything, and we are exporting at those sizes. And we've introduced bicubic upsizing and downsizing, so you're going to get the same quality that you're used to out of Photoshop or Lightroom when you upsize or downsize. Super awesome. So let's go ahead and pop this open. We're working with some lower resolution images, so it might be taking a little bit to upsize, but let's see what we end up with here. Yeah, I think we're upsizing quite a bit here, but we'll see. It's coming through. Right, so this is one of my favorite features. Right here it says we've changed the file name to say, hey, this is going on wall number 1, this is piece number 1, and it's 36 by 36. So when you upload that to CG Pro Prints and you're trying to remember which image has to be printed at which size, it's right there in the file name, so you don't have to worry about making a mistake when you order. That's like my favorite feature, is the file naming. All right, and so that's basically it. So we went through the pre-consult session with Laura and Jeff, how to actually run the sales session in Fundy Designer with Gallery Designer, and then how to export and send those off to print to CG Pro Prints. Do we have any questions we want to go over right here before we jump into looking at everybody's website and get you guys the download with Fundy Designer and get you guys up and running with CG Pro Prints and information from the shoot space?
Fundy, if you don't mind, we kind of wanted to, once you've shown how the actual designer software works, we wanted to bring it full circle and show how that plugs back into, what we did with the initial consultation.
Correct.
Full circle to the sale.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump over here. I'm going to jump over. I'm going to go ahead and activate your screen. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead. All right, you should be going live here pretty soon. It looks like it's launching.
Okay.
There we go. You guys are live.
Right. Okay, awesome. So what we wanted to do is, now that you've seen how powerful this software actually is in designing these galleries, we wanted to kind of connect that back to what we were talking about at the beginning with the pre-session consultation. So remember that early on in that pre-session consultation, we had our clients go home and take pictures of their walls where they want to hang a portrait and email those to us. So I saw a few minutes ago, I think it was Shelley had asked whether or not this is a process that you could start before your clients arrive as far as designing some walls. And that's actually something that I found that works really well. So I actually pre-designed 3 or 4 different designs that would fit on the wall that I think is going to sell the best. And I'm showing them collage sizes from medium to large to kind of give them some different options depending on what their ultimate budget is when they come in. But really what I'm wanting to do is show the possibilities and kind of set some standards ahead of time. I want to show that I'm not mixing black and white and color images. I want to show that I'm keeping a similar tonal range throughout. I want to pick images that look good together. But also I'm setting an expectation of how large the gallery should be on their wall. I definitely want to steer them away from just doing like 2 11 by 14s and having that be it for something above a sofa, for example. So you can see on our screen here that this would be a suggested gallery that I might show to our client from this shoot. So now when I can show this gallery to scale in the client's own living room, they can see that the bigger collage actually has more impact than the smaller collage. And notice also that the color scheme and their wardrobe and just the fact that the shoot was rather casual, it matches the feel of their home. And that's all because we did that design consultation in the very beginning. So now I'm showing them a collage that might be bigger than what they originally pictured, because we know sometimes clients can't wrap their minds around how big some wall art should be. But now that they can see how big it is and how great it looks on their wall, they can commit to it right on the spot. And they're actually happy and excited to have this artwork in their home, rather than feeling like they had a hard sale and having buyer's remorse afterward. So by showing them the possibilities now, we've exceeded their expectations. And this is a process that just wouldn't have happened if we showed up on the day of the shoot to meet them for the first time and then placed the images online. They would never have gotten to this point of having a gallery on their wall that they're absolutely in love with.
And basically what it comes down to is you kind of have to, shooting to sell, you have to have a vision, and that vision has to kind of line up with your client's vision, and that's what that pre-session consultation does. And so when you deliver on that vision with the images you create and your clients want to take home, once you do it all, there's no reason for them not to buy or to buy and then have buyer's remorse. And then your clients are just excited over the images, and they want to come back, and they want to come back and bring their friends. And that's kind of what we want to do, is build that client loyalty. So, and that's kind of our workflow. We hope that it helps you guys. Definitely keep in touch with us. Here's some information, and we'll turn this back over to Fundy, and we hope to see you guys soon.
We probably should clarify a little bit. We fumbled at the intro, but basically we do have 2 different business names, and so that's why you hear Indigo Silver and the Shoot Space. But Indigo Silver is our client-based studio, and then the Shoot Space is where we share all of our photography knowledge and things like that. So definitely feel free to follow us on both, whichever one you connect with, and we'd love to meet you and find out more about you.
Awesome. So we have, you should be able to see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? I have the Shoot Space's website pulled up here. And so, can everybody see that? I think so, yeah. So everybody can see that, and just like Jeff and Lori said, the Shoot Space is one of their businesses where they have a shared studio where other people will rent out studio space. They do workshops. They help photographers. There's a lot of great information on there. You guys, there's some great downloadable information also, so go ahead and check that out. If you want to check out Jeff and Lori's photography, indigosilverstudio.com is right here, so you can go through their wedding, senior, boudoir, blog, etc. Big, huge thank you to CG Pro Prints, so you can see all of their canvas wraps. All that information is right here. One of the best values out there for wall art. Super awesome. So
we absolutely love CG Pro.
Yeah, people are asking about getting CG Pro Prints into Fundy Direct. Definitely on our radar. People don't understand just how hard it is to do the direct ordering setup. It's definitely on our radar. We definitely want to make it happen. We don't quite have a timeline for that yet. And then coming back, fundydesigner.com for all of our stuff. Right now, we are giving out a free copy of Blog Collage that's only good till the end of this weekend, Sunday. So go to our website, click on the free Blog Collage. You get Blog Collage for free. Plus, you get the trial of Album Builder and Gallery Designer and Image Brander. Play around with that. Lots of good, fun stuff in there. If you have any questions, we're one of the few companies out there, software companies, that has local support. We have real people, real nice people in there. So if you get stuck, just reach out to us. And then I think, Megan, did you guys get your audio sorted out? Do you want to give a little last shout out here from CG Pro Prints?
Yeah, can you guys hear us?
We can hear you. I'm so happy you got the audio sorted out. Great job.
Yay!
We've been quiet here, so we didn't interrupt. But
Yep.
Carly and I, we attended the whole webinar. We thought that was awesome. Lori and Jeff, thank you so much for teaching everyone a little bit about your sales process. I think IPS is such a great topic, especially with this designer. We're so thankful for everyone that attended. And Fundy, thank you so much for showing everyone the gallery designer. I think we're really excited to get started on that and hopefully become a direct partner.
Yeah,
And then we also have a contest. We wanted to let everybody know too, we are doing a gallery wall inspiration contest. So we really want to see everybody's gallery walls. We really want you guys to either, it's going to be running through the end of the month, so you do have still time to purchase one and design one if you don't have one up already, and submit that to us on social or via our blog. And we're going to be giving away free canvas credit because we really want to see, we really want photographers to be able to inspire other photographers. So we want to see those gallery grouping designs. Get them on social.
Or if you don't have any galleries, go ahead and download the Fundy Designer trial, and you can go ahead and do some wall galleries in there. It will let you export for web. It will watermark it trial, but I think that CG Pro Prints will let you enter the contest even with the watermark on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's free to try. You might as well give it a go, and you might get some free wall art out of the deal. Who doesn't love that?
Right?
All right, everybody. Our hour is coming. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we will share this recording after the show, after the event as well. We'll probably host it on our blog. I know that Fundy was planning on doing that as well. So if anyone missed this, we were at full capacity. So thank you for coming, and we'll definitely have this available after as well.
Yep, and we'll be stopping the recording here, and we're going to throw that up on YouTube. Should be up within the next few hours, and then we'll get the link out to you guys too. And a huge thank you to Jeff and Lori. Good job, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
We're so glad to be here.
See you guys later.
All right.